introduction. I better play well, I'll tell you after that. I better play real well. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Joe and I have been an artist relations drumming team for years and years and years. I'll never forget the very first Buddy Rich Memorial Scholarship Concert in Long Island, New York, the one that wasn't videotaped. All I know is Joe was there in full force, made everybody feel at home. You had Joe Morello giving Vinnie Colaiuta lessons on the table of how to do this. And this guy picked up the tab for dinner. He's still paying for it. No, but thank you very, very much. It's great to be here. And I want to thank Ken Stanton Music so much because, you know, you have drum shops all over the world, but many, I should say, charge, okay? And so by Ken Stanton Music doing this and presenting seminars for free, I really want you to show them your support and shop here. And, you know, they're giving you something, give them something. Really awesome. And I have to tell you, too, I showed up. I just flew in from Los Angeles, and boy, are my arms tired. You got to say that. This morning, and I got here I did a 9 o'clock flight, Delta, to Delta's hub, the biggest airport in the world, you know, where it takes you eight tram rides to get to baggage claim. And we got it, and I love it. I love Atlanta. But we get here at 4:30. I show up going, boy, I wonder if it'll be, you know, I'll be adjusting. And sometimes you get to a shop and you're taking the stands out of the boxes. Everything was just like you see it now. Mic'd up, tuned up, ready to rock. So thank you, Joe and Chris and Scott and John and Tuesday and Ken Stanton and everybody here for making this easy for me. I want to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank Apex Drums. These Identity drums are just amazing, as you've just heard. All I know is my daughter's 11, and her favorite would be the pink sparkle with white anodized hardware. And my son's 14, and it's all about airsoft, paintball. So he'd want the camo ones, probably black. Black's cool, Dad. 9th grade, you know, high school. Anyway, so Apex drums, Zildjian cymbals, Remo drum heads, DW pedals, double pedals, LP cowbells, jam blocks, and Gahate beaters. And I've got a new stick that just came out with Vic Firth, and it's called the Backbeat. And it's got a grip on it, and it's a really good size for me, and I hope you can check it out. But all these sponsors together, I am so blessed to be able to go all over the world and talk about my passion, drums and music, and be able to be sponsored by these wonderful companies. And again, we're giving back and talking to drummers. I'm sure there's a lot of pros here that I should be at your clinic, and there's beginners that have never even played yet. So what a blast and what an honor. I really want to welcome questions because I love going to clinics and I love asking questions. You can't ask a DVD or modern drummer questions, but you can sure ask a clinician questions. And there are no dumb questions. I guarantee you, no matter what question you have, somebody in the room is probably asking that same question. So start thinking now about what you'd like to talk about, or just topics or questions. I'm going to play a little solo and get warmed up and let you hear these great Apex Identity drums. And also I've got quite an assortment of Zildjian cymbals, K crashes and a K ride. I brought my own trash hats from home. I'm kind of a K lover, but I love the A's, I love the hybrids. On the Ringo tour that I did this past summer, I used a mixture of K's and A's. Remo drum heads, I usually use ambassador coated on top, clear ambassadors on the bottom. And I've got an LP salsa bell and a Gahate bracket, one for the foot over here. And again, my sticks and a DW double pedal, 9,000 double pedal. So I'm just gonna get warmed up and play a little solo. You know, it's kind of intimidating. You can play for, I think the most people I've ever played for in my life, and I wasn't even nervous because I didn't know any of them, was 107,000 people in England with David Lee Roth at this huge Castle Donington Monsters of Rock festival. Iron Maiden and Kiss before they went to the makeup, and Guns N' Roses and Metallica and all these, 107,000 people. But when you don't know any of them, let's go, all right. You play in front of a room full of drummers. What does Johnny Bag of Donuts want to hear? I better play some jazz. He's a jazz guy. Maybe Mel Baldwin with, you know, who's one of my favorite drummers, with Justin Bieber. He got me into the concert in Mexico City. I'm sitting in the 5th row. All these 9 to 30-year-old girls from Mexico City, you You are with the band, senor. Please take me backstage. No, I'm not. I'm here enjoying the concert. My friend Mel from Atlanta's playing drums. Please, senor, take me to Mead Hill. Really, I'm just hanging out. I can't. But so there's, like I said, it's a whole different ballgame when you're playing in front of your peers. But I'm gonna just play a solo and get warmed up. And I really, really want you to talk about, ask me some questions, because my favorite thing to do is to play in different styles. And that's kind of what I'm going to do right now, is I'll play a drum solo that goes through a bunch of different styles of music. Pop, rock, jazz, funk, R&B, metal, bebop, brushes, Latin, Afro-Cuban, sambas. I'm a big student of the drums. And I love to study. I take a lot of lessons. Some of the greatest teachers I ever had, Tony Williams, before he passed away. I'm 53. He was 53 when he passed away. And I got to go to San Francisco to his home and study with him. So many drummers. I've studied with the great Jimmy Brantley out in Los Angeles, an Afro-Cuban drummer, Jeff Hamilton, Steve Houghton, Horacio Negro Hernandez, tons and tons of guys. Thomas Lang is a neighbor of mine. He lives across the street from me. How about that? We were doing a clinic. I was with Mapex, and he was doing a clinic. Chad Wackerman was sound checking in Hamburg, Germany. And he looks over at me. This is about 8 years ago. He goes, Greg, where would be a good place in California? He sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's Austrian. To move with my two twin boys who are 2, and my wife and I. We live in London now, but we want to move to California. I said, Thomas, there's this really cool area I live in called Westlake, Thousand Oaks. I even gave him the number of a realtor. 2 weeks later, knocked on my door and opened the door. It's Thomas, I moved across the park. Show me how to play double bass like that. You're teaching me now. I showed you the realtor. You live in this cool area, great schools. Come on, show me how you play. Okay, I will show you. Well, how come I'm 53 and since I was 14, the fastest I can go is, and you can go. Well, it's very simple. I'm watching you playing. You play heel up. That was pretty simple. So I play everything heel down. Really, I said, but volume, I can play heel down faster, but I can't get the volume when you really kick it heel down. He says, well, they have sound men now, and the sound men can turn up your bass drum. So I love studying, I love learning, and there's always something that you can show somebody, and there's always something someone can show you. So thank you all very much for being here. When you could have been listening to the presidential speech that was supposed to be in the Enormo Dome, but got rained out to the Coliseum, or reruns of Make My Day. Clint Eastwood talking. I tend to talk a lot. Politics, I'm pretty down the middle, so don't get me started on politics. Right, Joe? Correct. You are correct, sir. Thank you very much.
2016 yet?
I'm going to go see 2016. I know, I'm ready. I'm exploring all avenues.